Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get right into the information today, one take and uncut. If you guys have been noticing, since the markets opened, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 800 points alone just on the day. This is absolutely crazy. Now, just, within, I'm going to go, let's see, 5 days. I mean, look at this. We're at 29,000. And if we go and get a month view, it looks like we topped out at about 29,500. We are literally below 3,000 points on the Dow Jones alone. Now, something tells me that this is just the very beginning. I don't see us kind of getting back. If we pump back to, 29.5 and then push over 30K, I mean, call me surprised. We're going to keep going up and up and up until this QE is finally over and they're ready with the new solution. But this is absolutely absurd. This was, due. I think that this is just the beginning. And if you were to ask me, I see us going below 25K. If not even more. Same thing with the S&P 500 index, guys. We were at about 3,300, just a little higher. We're going to get a month view really quick. And look at this, 3386. And this was on Wednesday. On February 19th, today's the 27th, we are at 3,000, guys, down 88 points on the day, nearly 3%, just the beginning. Now, we saw the same correlation and crash. We saw gold actually making some moves the past, week or two, going up 50 points, going down 30 points, etc. But what's important is the higher highs on the weekly. Since that 1,300 call, we are approaching 1,900. I believe next up, obviously, is, in the mid-1700s. All right, next, coinpaprika.com. This is Paprika.com. I really do like this site. I like the metrics really quick before we get into the information, because obviously I can star some of the cryptos that I personally watch. Some of these I hold. I don't hold all of these. And then some I actually just use as indicators for other trades personally, but I don't need to get into that. But right here, guys, some of the most obvious investments, if you were to ask me, Ethereum, no brainer. It might not get the biggest return on investment compared to the others, but it will be integrated, it will be used, and it's just simply a no-brainer. I mean, last night it was a lot cheaper than this as well, so keep an eye on this. Hedge your bet, because I see this reaching, all-time highs as well. You can click this all-time high tab here. For those of you that do not know, you can see the date of the all-time high. You can see what the price was, almost 1,500, XRP, $3.84. And these are basically just rounded off from various exchanges. So, some other websites might say XRP's all-time high was, 340 or 360, and this one has about $3.84. All right. Now, some projects I recommend, of course, not financial advice. What I'm recommending is, I'm not saying buy them. I'm saying do your own research and decide for yourselves. Ethereum, XRP. I actually do have some Tezos, because I think if they do capture the STO market, they will be absolutely massive, similar to Cardano with everything they're targeting as well. Potentially with all of these proof of stake tokens and projects, they do have the potential to become some of the most decentralized blockchains there are. All right, Link, no brainer for me. Absolute no-brainer. I do not see any other decentralized Oracle network. The thing is, we don't know how early we are. All right. I want to look more and more into VeChain. I support it. I own it. But I really want to understand how the token appreciates itself before I, continue to talk about it. I know there's some big VeChain holders. I know there's some Cardano holders. There's some big Link supporters here. And I do also hold a small amount of XLM just as a hedge to XRP to improve my position. I can swing in and out of it. Typically, XLM, both Stellar and Ripple XRP, or just XRP, they move together, but sometimes Stellar or XLM, the token, tends to move a little bit beforehand, and it's a little more volatile in terms of gains upward, whereas XRP seems to be a lot more suppressed. Now, because of this, I'm also a lot more bullish on XRP and the market potential, but I think that if, XLM targeted retail and then XRP continued to go after the institutional clients, when all is said and done, utility comes and it's truly on-ramped in this, so-called flip is switched, that's when I think we'll see the big returns. All right. Of course, basic attention token I support because I am using the Brave browser, of course, with, limited ads. So I do like supporting ecosystems such as that. Hedera Hashgraph, HBAR, a lot of people make fun of this merely because of the, actual price performance, but that's just because we're early. A lot of these moon boys that come, they're looking for instant gains and they don't actually understand the, true utility and what can happen with these technologies. Same with QNT, Quant Network, over Ledger. It's just absolutely crazy with the potential for these cross-chain applications, the use cases between these 500 plus banks of quant. QNT will be used. They need, to own it, similar to Link, to be able to run these APIs and, reward everybody that's helping get these authentic, the authentic information off chain, on chain for the blockchain for the smart contract purposes and getting, accurate information that is also decentralized. It's highly, highly important. All right. Whether it's IOTA with the Tangle, whether it's, Hedera Hashgraph with the Hashgraph, or, XRP with, its ledger system. They all have use cases. There's more than enough money to go around. Just because one moons the other, it does not mean that the other can't. Sometimes they need to complement each other. And I'll go into information about this, how some of these projects can complement each other in future videos as well. But all right, to get into the information today, this is pretty interesting. I just want to share this because I feel a lot of people, they know the names, but they don't really know who they are. So I'm just going to do a rough overview of some of the wealthiest people in cryptocurrency, the rich list, along with some of the most influential names. So check this out, and then how it ties specifically more with Ripple, all right? Along with some OTC trading desks, some additional big Bitcoin holders and investors in the tokenized economy to come. So right here, so actually Crypto King, thanks for sharing this. So the modern consensus 100 most influential people in crypto 2020. Of course, I don't know why he's number 34, deserves to be a little higher in my opinion, since he's smarter than, the majority of the people on the list. David Schwartz, one of the original developers of the Ripple Consensus Network. Schwartz also calls himself an architect of the XRPL, the XRP ledger. As current CTO, he's built a rare thing in crypto, a payments network that is actually being used in the real world. Guys, institutionally speaking, it is being used today. That is absolutely insane. We're ramping up through, the Mexican corridor as well. If you don't see a future with at least XRP and the XRP ledger and the utility combined with the interledger protocol, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just going to say, go live your normal life, because this is the future. It is being adopted. It is proving. I've already gone over the video that I released on my other channel, Kevin Cage. The year-over-year revenue, it was, 20% plus? It's absurd with huge groups, guys, these behemoths with the top 48 of the 50 banks in the world. This is not a hype channel. This is fact. All right. And I'm urging you guys, I'm not telling you to listen to me and watch every single video. I would like you guys to watch my video and support me and, like it, but I want you guys to do your own research and you will come back to realize this is true. Right here. Designed specifically as a frictionless means of transferring money or value globally at very low cost, Ripple's tech claims to have several benefits over rivals, Bitcoin and Ethereum, notably the speed at which transactions can be settled. Of course, not only speed, but scalability, guys, nearly 1000x faster in both. That's important considering the company's RippleNet software aims to take over the old-fashioned business of interbank money transfers by knocking the traditionally days-long process down to a few seconds. And if not a few seconds, it is literally within, 2 to 3 minutes. Schwartz also commands respect under his Twitter handle, and this is Joel Katz on Twitter, where his nearly 150K followers value his humor as much as his crypto insights. And also like how, what's cool about David is he interacts with the XRP community, whether it's on Reddit or XRP chat or on Twitter. All right, next up. We got BG, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. In 2019, Ripple Brad Garlinghouse saw real progress in the company's goal of disrupting cross-border payments in the middleman SWIFT. More than 300 banks and financial institutions have signed on to RippleNet to use their software. Keep in mind, they rebranded Ripple's now new website. It's not the X series with Xcurrent, Xvia, and Xrapid. It is on-demand liquidity. Every RippleNet client now has the ability to roll out pretty quickly on-demand liquidity. And remember that study I showed in the past of how, was it InstaRem? It took roughly 8 weeks to get everything going on, whether it's liquidity pools, licenses for regulation in the country and the corridors, and then boom, they were off. That is amazing. All right, we're talking about sending billions of dollars. All right, real-time cross-border payments network, Ripple's on-demand liquidity, big boost. Of course, we know Ripple invested $50 million in MoneyGram, Mexican-U.S. corridor. XRP was used in 10% of those transactions. We're aiming for 20% next, which is awesome. Talking about cutting sales, Ripple is has more recently cut sales, and XRP is up nearly 50% of the year. This was an older article. And of course, we have, funny Galaxy Digital's Mike Novogratz talking about, XRP underperforming, kind of being a bear on XRP. But funny thing is, he's actually an investor in Ripple as well. This guy's a billionaire, and, he spreads his hedge. But the funny thing is this, Jeff Hardy had a really good point the other day. I feel like I had it somewhere. And I think I said it in a video right here. Check this. So the big names in crypto don't talk about XRP or promote XRP and Ripple, the company, because they don't have to. They know the money with XRP is coming. And obviously, we already see that on a daily basis. We just want to see that in price appreciation, which I think is going to be happening very, very quickly when it does. And I bet they all have deep bags of XRP already and will never admit it. They push Bitcoin and other alts like Ethereum in order to maximize their gains. Shady, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, this is just an opinion, but this is a great point from Jeff here. All right? So just wanted to share that, and I know, Mike Novogratz, I personally like him. I know he owns a huge bag of Bitcoin as well, so you can't really blame the guy. I guess maybe we would do the same thing. I don't know. I'd like to think I wouldn't, and I'd like to be more genuine than that. But again, who knows? Right here, Barry Silbert. So Barry Silbert, founder and CEO of Digital Currency Group. He's a big name. Started buying Bitcoin back in 2012 and soon became an active investor in the crypto space. 3 years later, he founded Digital Currency Group. Today, the New York-based VC backs over 140 companies, including Coinbase, Ripple, and Circle. These are the three I say in every video. Watch for future IPOs. Watch. I guarantee one of the three or all three. Ripple said they don't want to be the first and they do not want to be the last. It is also the parent company of cryptocurrency asset manager, Grayscale Investments. I know some of you actually have accounts with them as well. All right, crypto trading and lending firm Genesis Trading, and media and events firm CoinDesk. Prior to leading DCG, Silbert I believe it's Silbert, right? Not Silbert. Yeah, I'm just having a blonde moment here. Bear with me. But anyways, founded Second Market, a technology company that was acquired by NASDAQ. He cut his teeth in He cut his teeth in the investment world as an investment banker. All right, and then of course Kraken. Now, for those of you that do not know, I did a previous video. I know few people are actually going to watch this video, so whoever watches this video, I hope you get this information. And thank you for supporting the channel. I know I talked about over-the-counter trading, and I said when XRP moons, and let's just say hypothetically, let's say you have $1 million, $10 million, $50 million. Now, of course, you want to take profit. There's nothing wrong with that. But what happens if you want to throw a few million of play money back into undervalued projects? What if VeChain, Cardano, Ethereum, anything was still low and you wanted to capitalize on this? Well, what I recommend, instead of going on an exchange and getting destroyed by fees and doing a market order and driving the price up for everybody, I recommend going to Kraken. They have an OTC, over-the-counter trading desk. The minimum buy is $100,000 per trade, but it will not move the market. I know a lot of people have seen the beginner's guide in the benefits of buying OTC. This is one of the exchanges I recommend. All right. Really, really recommend it. Will not move the market. They have a huge list, whether it's Tezos, Chainlink, VeChain, I believe Cardano. I'll have to double check, but they have a lot of these altcoins a lot of people are interested in and continue to do so. So Kraken is an exchange I'm personally watching. I'm hoping that we get more options as well for us retail everyday people. All right, next up. So we got Michael Arrington. I really like this guy. You guys hear me go on and on about him. Funny guy, pretty bold, but again, a securities lawyer, and he's actually, a partner as well, and leads Arrington XRP Capital, a huge XRP fund. So as a securities lawyer who is the editor of TechCrunch, which I'm sure many of you have heard of, Michael Arrington's history with the VC investing includes stakes in Uber, Airbnb, and Pinterest. In late 2017, he found Arrington XRP, the 100 million fund, chose XRP, $100 million fund, the coin that powers Ripple's RippleNet software as its base denomination. He's a bull. He was, at Swell. I know many of the gentlemen in the XRP community actually got to meet him as well. Absolutely awesome. So last year, Arrington XRP acquired bite-sized capital after raising an additional $30 million. Now, just a fun fact, I think this is funny, with Uber, anybody that, watches Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, some hate him, some like him. I personally like to, I hear tidbits of his information and I like to entertain the thoughts, and I always, walk away learning something. The funny thing was that he was friends with the original guy with Uber. What was his name? Travis something. I'm drawing a blank here, but he basically approached him 2 different times during 2 different funding rounds for maybe a $50,000 investment, and Gary turned him down twice. Guess what that investment would have been worth? It would have been worth a $50,000 investment. Turned around, Gary said it was anywhere from $100 to $300 million. What he would have earned. It's just laughable to me. I know his net worth is well in the tens of millions, 50 million or so. But hey, these are the kind of stories that are going to happen for those people that sell 10,000 XRP in the future. All right, next up. Right here, Jed McCaleb, we know, founder Stellar and CTO of Interstellar, has a long story in crypto. I honestly, I feel like there's a lot of drama with him, guys, with all of this, selling XRP. I honestly don't waste my time with, talking about the FUD. If you guys want to research it, go ahead. I absolutely understand looking at anything that's bad, the bad side of an investment. But personally, with me, you can call me a conspiracy guy, a tinfoil hat guy. I think this is all planned. I think this is just controlled selling. I don't think it necessarily tanks the price. It might suppress it a little bit. Sure, anything is possible. Same talk with all of these securities announcements. I get so many direct messages asking, Kevin, what's your opinion with, XRP being classified as a security? I told you, I'm not going to bother entertaining this. This is all an act that, this is just a play that has to play through. Go through the media, go through the news, go through the articles, go through all the retail investors like you and us to waste our brain power focusing on that. All I'm doing is I'm dollar cost averaging, buying when the price is low, and that is it, and just holding my bag. All right. Of course, I swing trade, a smaller bag with some other assets. But seriously, it's just a waste of time. Look at the news. Look at the ecosystem that XRP is developing. Look at the backing by Finabler, Finastra, some of the biggest names, the top banks in the world, the top FIs, the top 40 and 50 governments as well in the world. And if you really think that XRP is not going to appreciate in value, sell now. And I want you guys to sell. If you doubt XRP, sell it all. Watch my channel. And watch what happens in the future, because I have no doubt. All right, next up, Roger Ver. So, really interesting guy, guys. Famously known as Bitcoin Jesus, Ver was an early investor in Bitcoin-related startups and has always shown his enthusiasm in cryptocurrency. He presently promotes Bitcoin Cash, which is a hard fork of the cryptocurrency created with the intention of fixing high fees and long transaction confirmation time issues. I don't support Bitcoin Cash whatsoever. I do not support Bitcoin personally. I mean, I hope, all assets rise that actually solve a real problem. But for speculative investments or, fixing high fees, XRP can do that too. And there's plenty of other assets. So I'm looking for the best solutions to survive. All right. Notice that XRP, interledger protocol at least, is built being agnostic, and it allows anyone to pick whatever crypto, whatever vehicle they want to use on this payments highway. He's also renowned as a libertarian and anarcho-capitalist, interesting, and then peace advocate and an advocate for individualism and volunteerism. Fun fact, Ver bought $25,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2011. Yeah, he massive net worth, guys, massive. And he's an investor in Ripple. He owns a big bag of XRP, and that's literally a fact. I'm not just telling you that to, get you guys happy. So he's just focusing on, Bitcoin Cash, of course, but he knows that Ripple's doing a fine job as well. Chris Larsen, one of the richest men, the number 2 man. Look, behind 100 richest people in crypto, Chris Larsen, number 2 behind the unknown Satoshi. So we got Chris Larsen, guys. Many Silicon Valley tech startups have been co-founded by his present business executive and angel investor. In 1996, he co-founded the first of its kind online mortgage lender, eLoan. In 2006, he co-founded the first peer-to-peer lending marketplace in U.S. Later in 2012, he co-founded the company Ripple Labs, Inc. Guys, without this gentleman, XRP, I believe, would not be what it is today. Ripple Labs would have never even been founded. He wouldn't have gotten together the great minds like Arthur Brito, the man without a face, David Schwartz, Stephen Thomas, all these great minds, all right, which developed XRP. Self-described as radically pro-consumer, Larsen had been a vocal advocate, a speaker at industry events, and also for organizations like Credit Karma and Epic. Fun fact, did you know Chris Larsen holds a total amount of 5.2 billion XRP amongst investments in a range of other projects, putting his net worth at about $2.1 billion. Now, this article was written, let's go down here and see when it was written. This is an older article, though, just for full transparency. And also, what I do want to point out is then Larsen there was talks of him donating a large amount of his XRP to a few universities. Now, I want to see confirmation on this personally, but again, guys, they are reinvesting into the ecosystem to grow it. I think he has more money than he knows what to do with, so I don't think this is about becoming a trillionaire. But, wouldn't surprise me if there's going to be several trillionaires in the future, just like when becoming a billionaire was a big deal. Back in the day, watching like Andrew Carnegie and these gentlemen becoming worth millions upon millions, it's the same thing with inflation. The fun fact is that people are saying that the inflationary rates, I can't even talk, are actually like multiplier effects way higher than they really are today. So like, for example, people are saying that the actual inflation rates today are secretly, if you really look at things, like 3 times higher. Now, I'll have to do research into that. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And, hopefully you guys are like, hey, if that's not fact-based, I'm upset. Oh, well, do your own research. That's not a fact. I'm just telling you what I've heard. And I believe that was even shared by Greg Manarino as a source. So I pretty much trust it until I can verify it. All right, next up, we've talked about this gentleman as well, Matthew Mellon, guys. This guy owned a bunch of XRP, but unfortunately, he did pass away. So a fashion entrepreneur and a member of Mellon and Drexel banking families, was a chairman of New York Republican State Committee's Finance Committee. Mellon had a bipolar disorder inherited from his father and was also reportedly addicted to opioid Oxycontin. He was reported to have died in his hotel room in April of 2018 in Cancun due to a fatal heart attack after taking ayahuasca, a hallucinogenic drink. Now, I'm assuming there was other things going on as well, and he may have been on other substances, unfortunately, but the fun fact was this, and I know it doesn't sound as fun after hearing that, but Matthew Mellon had an obsession for cryptocurrencies, giving him a net worth of around $1 billion on paper at the time of his death, which would be approximately $342 million at present. Now, the fun fact was he actually owned, this was entirely XRP, and you guys can go look for the articles back in the day as well. He bought it early on. I forgot when he actually purchased the XRP, but obviously a big purchase to be worth $1 billion, close, a little after that all-time high for XRP. And XRP's all-time high was in January of 2018. So April, just, coming down a little bit. So you can understand he owned a substantial amount to be valued at $1 billion. And then lastly, just going over Brad Garlinghouse, and we got Barry Silbert again, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that last name right. I'm pretty sure I am. But serving as the CEO, of course, he's an active angel investor in over 40 companies, including hardware company Pure Storage, AI startup Diffbot, and Indigo Agriculture. Also a board. He also has board positions at these groups. And then one of the richest people in cryptocurrency, Brad Garlinghouse, has an estimated net worth of $172 million. Barry Silbert, again, talked about Popular on Wall Street, building the second market in exchange for tough-to-trade assets. CEO of Digital Currency Group, we've already gone over that. Talking about raising the issue, just bringing attention to all of this. And then, of course, we got Vitalik Buterin, Tim Draper, a lot of recognizable names. As we go down here, we see Roger Ver again. I see Charles Lee. Don't get me started on that. Just a few recognizable names. And I assume, and 50 Cent, that these names are going to change as well. But some of these guys look, Manny Pacquiao, some of these names are going to be changing as well, just like a game, just like in the e-commerce space or the tech space. There's a few big names that stay, and then there's a lot of up-and-coming guys as well. So just wanted to share that, guys. Hopefully you found that interesting. We're going to keep an eye specifically. I'm watching the Dow as one of the indicators. Just keep an eye on the yield curve and everything as well. I think it's pretty fun. So let's just refresh while I was ranting. And look, we went up again. So we just went up another 300 points, kind of retracing. But if you ask me, I don't care. This year, I believe we are going lower, period. So with that, guys, I appreciate everybody that likes this video, shares it around, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.